Have you ever faced a frustrating situation where you submitted a form only to find out that there was an error? It can be really annoying, especially when you have to reselect everything. If this sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to tackle how to retain the selected value of a dropdown in Laravel 5.4. I totally understand how it feels when you have to fill out a form again after an error. It's like running a marathon and then being told to start over. You're definitely not alone in this struggle. Many developers face this issue. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, "How can I ensure that the selected designation in my dropdown remains selected after a validation error in Laravel 5.4? This is a common scenario, and we're going to break it down step by step. So, what causes this issue? When a form is submitted and validation fails, Laravel typically redirects back to the form without retaining the previous input. This can be frustrating, but luckily there are ways to handle it effectively. And stick around. At the end of this video, I have a quick tip that will help you streamline your form handling in Laravel even further. To ensure the previously selected designation is retained after a validation error, the user should modify the view file. Specifically, they need to set the selected attribute for the option that matches the submitted designation. Next, the user should utilize the old helper function provided by Laravel. This function retrieves the old input data after a validation error occurs, allowing the selected designation to be preserved. Now, when the user submits the form and a validation error occurs, Laravel will automatically repopulate the form with the previously entered data. This includes the designation dropdown. Finally, the user should test the form submission to ensure that the selected designation is retained correctly. They can do this by intentionally submitting invalid data. Fun fact: did you know that the first web forms were created in the early 1990s? They were much simpler than what we have today, but they laid the groundwork for all the complex forms we use now. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggested by a user involves maintaining the state of the old input using the redirect method. After form submission, you can redirect back to the form while preserving the input data. To retrieve the old designation value, you can use the old method on the request instance. This allows you to check if the previously selected designation matches the current options. Here's the quick tip I promised. Always remember to use the old function for any input fields in your forms. This small addition can save you and your users a lot of time and frustration. And there you have it. Now your dropdown will retain the selected value even after a validation error. Remember, user experience is key. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips, and don't forget to check out our next video for more Laravel tricks.